All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another quick post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Claressa Shields versus Kelsey De Santis. Had to watch this fight again because the first time I came in on like the second round. And, I watched it through, but I said, let me go ahead and check this whole thing out. And I literally just got off watching this fight a few minutes ago. Yeah, Claressa Shields taking on Kelsey De Santis. As y'all know, Claressa Shields, she's been out of the cage for almost like over a year, I believe almost 2 years since that Abigail Montez fight. Since then, she went back to boxing. She wanted to take a little break from MMA. She came back, started getting back in the gym, getting that training in. And, again, she's continuing her path, starting it off against a lesser opponent. And Kelsey De Santis, ex-Marine, I believe was coming in at 1-2. But, like I always say, MMA is a different story. It doesn't matter what the opponent's record is. They could be 1-7, but if they take you down, boom, they got you. And there was a couple of scary moments in this fight like this for Claressa, That's just showing her that, look, you can come in, be the best striker in the world, have power in both hands, but if that opponent is able to get you down and capitalize, that's it. And Kelsey De Santis, she had a couple of moments in this fight, but, they just brought in, let's be real, they just brought in an opponent that was going to give her a couple of scares, but didn't really have the fight IQ to completely dominate and utilize what she had. I think Kelsey De Santis had enough tools in her belt to completely control Claressa, but she didn't really commit. She gave in to Claressa on the feet, gave her too many moments on the feet to get into a rhythm with her boxing. Even let Claressa control the clinches against the cage. Other than that, when she was sneaking a couple of trips and takedowns and pull Claressa down, that was it. But even then, Claressa survived, so I got to give Claressa credit. She was able to survive off her back. But, how long is she going to do that against, higher level grapplers as time goes on, right? In this fight, I think it just came down to her opponent who didn't really have the IQ to capitalize. Like when we watched Amanda Lemos make bad choices. See, again, De Santis didn't really know how to lock it in and just control the fight when she had it on the ground, right? She didn't really know how to maul because she was kind of a big opponent too, Maybe the catch weight was more in favor of Claressa, but she looked like she was kind of muscular and strong too. So I figured her to be more of the physical inside fighter here, but she didn't really capitalize like that. So real quick, just looking back at the fight, right away you see Claressa Shields wanting to be the boxer still. She's still comfortable on the feet. That's where she wants to be. And I don't even mean like a kickboxer. She's still throwing her hands like a boxer, still going to the body like a boxer and throwing overhand rights like a boxer, which it worked well in this fight because her opponent didn't really have too much of a kicking game. Kelsey used her kicks a couple of times to just kind of stay out of the punching range, but she didn't really commit to kickboxing herself. Claressa was able to get off, a couple of good hard right hands, a couple of hard overhand rights in the first round. And just kind of push her way in and be a little bit more physical and use that weight in this fight. But when Kelsey got the fight down to the ground, once again, that's where we see Claressa on her back and in trouble. And whenever Kelsey De Santis locked in that armbar, I was like, uh-oh, here it goes. Here it goes. But she lost it. All right, she lost it. And this was like halfway into the round. So, I think we could say that Kelsey De Santis won the first round. I think she did win the first round with that ground control time. Claressa landed a couple of nice shots there, but I think that overall, I think she did get the first round. Now, the second round, that one went more in favor of Claressa. Claressa started getting into a groove here, and as you can see, landed a couple of good shots here, and she was actually doing some good cage work. She was having some success with that dirty boxing. Pushing. Putting a lot of weight on De Santis, pushing her back into the cage with the forearms, landing good body shots, and just getting a lot of work in here. And that's where I see Claressa, getting comfortable because she was dealing with an opponent who was just using a lot of upper body. She was just trying to block a lot of shots, locking up with Claressa, but she wasn't really doing many trips. But when she did a trip, that's where she had success because that's when she was able to get Claressa down again in the third round and, ride out the round and get that full mount on Claressa, So looking at the second round, I give that to Claressa because, I thought she did more damage and landed more shots. But going into the third round, Claressa landed a few more good right hands. Third round was kind of up in the air, because Claressa controlled the first half with striking. But finally, when Kelsey was able to get the fight to the ground, that's where she had Claressa in trouble again, by getting the full mount and landing some good ground and pound there, So to me, it was kind of up in the air. Kelsey De Santis felt like she won the fight. I can see where she felt like that a little bit, but I think she just let too much. She let it be too far in between, like her ground control time and even her scoring damage. Like she didn't really score that many strikes. I think Claressa landed like over 70, 80 strikes to her 0 or something like that in one round, So it was her fault on that. Like the ground control just wasn't enough. So yeah, I had it like 2-1 for Shields, but it's still a big learning process for Claressa Shields. Right now I'm still seeing a boxer in there. I think she's still comfortable throwing hands like a boxer. She just had an opponent that didn't really want to drop levels on her and take her down. She had an opponent that wasn't really landing hard leg kicks here. I believe Kelsey De Santis did land one good calf kick on Claressa and kind of got a reaction out of her in the first round. That's why I was like, uh-oh. When she started letting them kicks go, it might be a problem, but she abandoned the kicks. She just stayed on the back foot, stayed against the cage, kind of blocking all of Claressa's shots, and that was it. But other than that, man, I think from here, Claressa Shields, I don't really see her being like this Holly Holm-esque type of boxer that transitions to MMA. I don't think she's really built like that. So if she's going to want to keep fights standing, I think her takedown defense has got to be on point. And I think her clinch game is where she needs to really work. Clinch game and dirty boxing and her wrestling. Like, she really needs to like work with somebody like, I believe, like, Aaron Blanchfield. She needs a team like Uriah Faber that's really going to help her kind of turn it up. Like Macy Barber. Macy Barber's kind of bottom heavy too a little. And over the past year, she's been kind of working on her clinch game where, she's very physical, but she's still controlling from the top to the bottom, because Claressa's controlling up top, but the way she kind of positions her legs leaves her open to be tripped and taken down. So, she won't be able to clinch fight the way she's doing in, the way she did in this fight. So in the future, I think she just needs to kind of position her feet a little bit different, and she just needs to stay busy with like knees and elbows and just kind of mixing up the variety on the inside. So, yeah, still a lot of work from here, man. Like wrestle is what Claressa's got to do, throughout her next few camps. And that's that's the type of fighter I think she needs to be, and, get used to throwing more kicks, and be a little bit lighter on her feet, because when she meets somebody that's going to throw hard calf kicks and that mixes it up like a kickboxer, the rhythm in her fights are going to change. Like I can see that calf kick getting chewed up in the future when she meets somebody that's going to be fluid and throwing those type of shots. Because, this is MMA now, but Claressa, I don't think she's really bringing that much power, because she didn't really hurt De Santis in this fight either. She didn't really hurt her at all. So, Claressa's got to really work on calf kicks, wrestling, and the inside game. The inside game is where she really needs to work, and, that jiu-jitsu. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I know a lot of boxing fans think that Claressa's going to take over MMA too, but no, I don't see it that way. Like, she's not going to be in here knocking people out. She wasn't knocking people out in boxing, but she's not going to take over the sport just like that. Like, I give her a lot of props for wanting to get into the cage, and step up her game and actually be, humiliated, be putting on her back like that, because a lot of boxers, they're not used to that type of sport. They're not used to, the type of sport where they're going to be put on their back and just rendered helpless at times, but I think, it's going to be a long path for Claressa, to even get to like a mid ranking. You know what I mean? Like she'll face a couple more losses. That's something they got to learn too. Boxers, like, that's the thing about boxing. A lot of guys in boxing, they try to protect that record, but in the world of MMA, man, you can't protect that record. Like, you're going to face somebody who's going to beat you at some point. Eventually you're going to get beat, but that's just going to make you better. All the more to really go in there and stay active. That's what makes me just kind of turn more to MMA over the past few years, because these guys are staying active, they're staying humble, and they're fighting everybody, right? So yeah, shout out to Claressa for doing it. But what do y'all think? How far do you think she goes from here? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.